What's up, guys? This is Anhydrous. I'm going to show you how to do a jump run in around 11 minutes. I started after the Lasher pack because I want to get Soul Shard, so you can add like 30 seconds to the time, but I ended around 10:50. Top, like, to the point where you can like sneak around him. He's 56. He does have like a high-ish aggro radius, I think, for 56, but it's definitely possible. So what I do here, because I don't have gear and I want to get this kill as quick as possible, I enslave him. You don't really have to. This boss you can do with no gear and no issues without him enslaved. I just wanted to do it just so I can get, some more damage off and just not have to deal with him on my run. Get the run done as quick as possible. So if you have an extra soul shard, definitely would banish him. The poison that he puts on is pretty devastating to most things. It actually slows the Thandris, the Blood Elf boss, but does not slow him. I've actually never really enslaved him except for this time. But it actually did work out because he sacks him. It does heal him a little bit, but I think the damage he does kind of negates the healing that happens because he does around the same amount of damage, and it makes someone have to fight him. I was gonna try to get a shard off him, but he was Zevra was too close. So the strategy here is you want to always be applying all your dots, and if you don't have good gear, Cursed Doom is gonna have like the highest static damage for you, while requiring you to get in the line of sight as little as possible. So I recommend doing that. And I'd say this is easy. I think this is easy, but there's situations where you can get sacked, and you need cast bars for sure. If you don't have classic cast bars, you need classic cast bars. And that's because you need to see the sack. If you can't see the sack being casted, there's no chance you're going to avoid it every single time. It's really, I mean, it would require a skill that you should not need to develop. So I'm just applying all my dots, life tapping, and that demonic sacrifice from the Void Walker, as you can see in the top right, you see the little psychic scream icon is doing work because I'm able to regenerate health. I didn't need to bandage there. I'm just trying to keep healthy. Honestly, did not need to bandage there. But you do need at least 1 or 2 bandages with you. Rune cloth bandages, at least, or heavy rune cloth would be better. Okay, so this is the easier part. We have to talk to Ironbark in order to unlock the door to Alzzin. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to him, and the reason why I go back to the wall here is because I feel like it's just a safer route. I've never died that way. I have died just waiting for the trends to walk back and forth. I banished the Shadow Stalker. I'm going to rebanish him here. And the reason for that is because you don't have to kill him, because what you're going to do, as you'll see in a moment, is you're going to reset him, and then you're going to drink or eat or both, and then you're going to start. A couple of important things we haven't gone over in the video yet. Absolutely essential is that you're using, if you can look at on the right hand side of the screen, the 6 icon is a lesser invisibility potion. These are typically really cheap, cost me like 30 silver to make, and I think regionally I'm on 2 different servers. They're really, really cheap. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about real quick is the Skull of Impending Doom. I do believe that this is not required, but it's going to help you a ton in your DME solos, especially when you don't have any gear like this. I mean, obviously you'll have some gear, so it might not matter as much, but what it's going to do is it's going to prevent a lot of wipes that will happen because you can't get the reset in time. And the reason why you'll see during the fight why it's so important, but it's going to give you that 60% movement speed, and it's going to let you get to that reset position before the imps can get to you. We'll see that in a minute. Alright, so on the top right of the screen you should see the Jungle Remedy, Strong Anti-Venom, Invenerate, which is one of his casted abilities, and Wither. Wither does a fuck ton of damage, especially when you have no gear. Does like 30-40% of your life. Invenerate is just a mana drain. You don't need either thing unless RNG is really bad, so it's handy to have a few. I think I only use one here. I don't have any anti-venom on me. So whichever is cheaper, Wither and anti-venom. Anti-venom doesn't do damage, so you can bandage with it. But the reason why I remove Wither a lot is because, or sometimes is in spots where I need to bandage, because if RNG is not my favor, and he shapeshifts into he can only do this, cast these abilities from his main form, his Alzzin form. His Dire Wolf and his Trent form, which you'll see soon, he doesn't cast those. So when he goes into this form, this is what I do. I'll either go back to the pillar and then go behind this statue, like on the right, and this is how you kite him. Right? So I got the poison there. It's not very good. You got to expend your mana as quickly as possible. You get that poison, it's just gonna go. I use my Jungle Remedy there. I mean, they're so cheap on my realm that I just use them whenever. But if they're not cheap, then I would not. You don't need them. You definitely don't need them. So yeah. So what you want to do is you want to abuse this rock so that, like, what I'm doing right now is that, so every time he comes like past that second pillar under the branch, you go right back to the top of the ledge, so that he's so far from you, so that when he goes into like where he's right there, I back away, so that if the disease gets casted, I line of sight it or I range it, because it only has a 40-yard range. So it's not necessary to have that Jungle Remedy, but if you don't have that Jungle Remedy and you don't have good gear, you are going to need to utilize this mechanic, and you have to rely on RNG occasionally. If he is in his regular form a lot, you are probably going to die if you don't have something like a Jungle Remedy, or because he's going to shift, occasionally he'll shift close, especially if you're trying to get casts off. In this case, I think this is my second Curse of Doom. I usually just need one when I have gear. So this is the end of the fight. You just want to get him to 50%. When you get him to 50%, the cave behind you, as you might know, as you see right there, it explodes. So what you do is you want to line up all these imps, right? But you want to go on the rock a second time, so that the imps go to you again. Because everything but the imps is what you only care about the imps, because the imps are the only thing that are going to kill you. So then I use my Skull of Impending Doom, and I go to the reset spot right here on this ledge. You have to round up the imps, and they're going to go like this. You're going to turn off the game. You're going to force close WoW, and that's the only way they'll reset, as you can see there. And then what I do is I go on my ult, because I am not a miner on my Warlock. So this takes significantly longer to do with a mining ult, but you can do it. I'm going to show you how. But if you are a miner on your Warlock, just reopen the game in 40 seconds, and you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to do what I'm about to do on my warrior here. Just wait for this patrol, and don't, if your ult isn't like a rogue or something, which if it was a rogue, that's actually really good, because then you don't need an invis pot, and you'll see in a second why. But if you aggro that lasher pot pack, and you're not like a mage Warlock, or something that can get away from combat, like a warrior, I'll just die to the lashers since I'm jumping anyway. And obviously don't aggro the trend. So you're going to walk down the hallway, just like you would. And as you can see, there's 3 rich thorium veins, and there's nothing to do. You just, these withered protectors, the big green guys going around, are going to be able to, they have a huge aggro radius, but you can easily reset them just by going up this ledge here. So for me, it's not 10 minutes, it's not 11 minutes, because I'm not a miner. But if you are a miner in your Warlock, you can do this without any gear at all in 11 minutes. If you have good gear, you can get it down way down. And the only opportunity cost, if you have good gear, you don't even need, you absolutely do not need anything but an invisibility potion, maybe 1 bandage. Okay, so you wait for combat to drop, and then you just walk into the cave, and that's it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As you can see from mining right here, I think on the second node I get an arcane crystal, and you'll probably get an arcane crystal every 2 to 3 runs. And I strongly believe if you even have it close to pre-BIS, you can get, and you're a miner on your main, you can get 5 runs an hour. And if you're a miner on your ult with decent gear, you can get 5 runs an hour. And even if you have shit gear and you're optimizing your route, you can get 5 runs an hour. And that's going to be 100 to 150 gold an hour, depending on your realm and everything like that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.